Us to continue to keep our life plan in order, of course, is David L. Carrier. Good morning to you.
Morning, Leanne. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
Glad to hear. Well, very well, thank you.
Wonderful.
Very good.
And we talked about last week that Veterans Day is something that's very near and dear to you. You've had a history of family that has served along with yourself.
Right.
And it's only appropriate that we kind of focus on that for one of our questions today.
Right. I think that's what we're, it is Veterans Day. I mean, tomorrow will be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the great thing about Veterans Day is? The great thing about Veterans Day is it's the one day out of the year where I can wear my uniform legally.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
if you're a vet, you get to wear your uniform legally.
Okay.
But it's like, what did Ron White said? I have the right to remain silent, I just don't have the ability. Well, that's sort of the same way with I have the right to wear my uniform.
Sure.
I just don't have the ability anymore.
Sure. Now make sure tomorrow, too, you take advantage of all those wonderful free meals that are out there for veterans.
Yeah, well, then I'll be even further behind the curve on wearing the uniform.
Maybe
your
uniform won't fit anymore after all that.
That's right.
But actually, well, we're going to go ahead and get down to business when it comes to some of the questions.
Sure.
I know we talked about one last week. I think the one we talked about was, does the Veterans Aid and Attendance Program apply to elderly and dependent living facilities?
That was last week. And the answer
last
is yes.
week.
Yeah, it's just a matter of what is your condition versus where you are. With the Medicaid, lots of times it's all about what kind of facility you're in. But with the vet's pension, it's not at all about where are you. It's about what condition are you in. Do you need the help with the activities of daily life, that kind of thing. That's and then how much income you have. That's what really matters with the VA.
Absolutely. And if you go online too, we have last week's conversation on there. People can find that. But how about this one? Is there any provision in Veterans Administration law as to benefits for an abandoned wife? And I don't know if you can explain on that one a little bit more.
Yeah, well, as I recall, this one, they've been separated, he remarried, but there was no divorce. They were still married. If you're divorced from a service member, well, that's the end of it as far as the benefits go. But if you were married when the vet died, even if you were separated, right, it still counts. You're still the surviving spouse of the service member, so you're still entitled to the VA benefits. So under these, even though he was a bigamist, he got married twice and all the rest of that, Michigan is very, very black and white about this stuff. Either you're married or you're not. Right, for all this kind of stuff. There's no common law marriage in Michigan. If you are married and have a order of separate maintenance, you may have already done the property settlement and all the rest. Doesn't matter. You're still married. Married is married. And you get into this a lot with the Medicaid stuff, where people do prenuptial agreements and they think, well, we've got a prenup or we've been separated, so my assets won't count. Yes, they will. They definitely, and it's the same way with the VA. If you're married, you're married. Now, if you could have been married for 50 years, got divorced, and the guy died the next week, you still don't get the benefits.
Sure. I know you said last week that you had a couple of workshops and they both were very full and very busy, and a lot of people are definitely, taking advantage of your services that you offer.
Yeah.
If people come to these workshops, at that point, is there any paperwork or anything like that they should bring with them, or is it basically kind of come, sit back, listen, bring your questions, that sort of thing?
It's very much a come as you are sort of thing. So we get everybody from mom went in the nursing home last week, to mom's been in the nursing home for the last 2 years, to we're about to retire. The whole idea behind the workshop, I got to tell you, we share some of the secrets. We say, look, this is how the system actually works. But mostly it's a way for us to get that conversation started, to begin the discussion, and to give you a sense of what's really going on. And I have to tell you, most people think it works this way, not even close. Okay, it doesn't work the way most people, the system doesn't work the way most people think it does. And frankly, I think, there's been a huge disservice done to most folks, because you hear all the time, avoid probate, save taxes, get it to the kids. Like that was important. Listen, it's a lot more important to figure out how to hang on to your stuff, whether you're a vet or your spouse, while you're alive, than it is to figure out how to get. And most people die broke anyway. Sure. Because why? Because they didn't do the kind of planning that they need to do to hang on to their stuff while they're alive. And that in a nutshell, that's what the workshop. We explain exactly how that works and start getting into it. But we've opened the Muskegon office I was meeting folks out there yesterday, love that. And we have our own workshop space there. This weekend, I think we're going to be in Holland and Grand Rapids.
Great.
It's one of those things where we try to make it as convenient as we can. And speaking of convenient, the day after Thanksgiving, historically,
Black
or
Friday.
traditionally, the biggest shopping day. Well, what we've done now for several years, it's really become sort of a tradition. Is we have 2 workshops on Black Friday.
Okay.
You think, well, that's the day after Thanksgiving. I want to relax. Well, listen, if you've been out shopping at 5:30 in the morning to get your hair curler or your DVD player or what have you, right?
Yeah.
Come by and put your feet up. We have pie.
Nice.
Which we started off doing the pie because the day after Thanksgiving, there's a lot of leftover pie.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Smart shopper.
So we started doing that, and now it's just been, again, that's the one workshop during the week during the year that we guarantee that there will be pie for everybody.
Otherwise, there's really good cookies, according to the commercial. All right. Well, thank you so much. So once again, go ahead and reach out to them locally at 616-361-8400. You can call them toll-free, 888-463-2843, located at 4965 East Beltline Northeast. Go to davidcarrierlaw.com.
And Leanne, if you want to get your question on the air, if you want us to deal with it here, send it in.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll
send it in.
We'll do it right here. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right.